this. And I'm going to say something here that I said immediately after the election on Tuesday. Mamdani and some of these other far-left socialist candidates have tapped into a very similar vein that got Donald Trump elected in 2024, and that is listening to people that feel forgotten, neglected, out of touch, and unable to keep up with their bills. Donald Trump connected with the middle class. Now, this might fire some people up, but this is the truth. You got populists on the left and populists on the right. I don't agree with socialism. I think it's a very dangerous track because it has proven 100% of the time to fail across the world and in this country. I mean, government grocery stores, not going to work. Free bus rides, not going to work. Gender-affirming care for anybody inside or outside of New York, catch a plane, come here, it's not going to work. There's no money to pay for it. It's insane. Raise taxes on the biggest producers, those making more than $1 million. Raise taxes on business. None of this is going to work. It's going to be an abject failure and a disaster. But Mamdani grabbed a hold of a group of people, young people specifically. 81% of young women voted for Mamdani because they're having a hard time making rent. They're having a hard time purchasing a home. They're having a hard time making ends meet, even though a lot of them have gone to school, worked hard, done what they thought they were supposed to do, and they're still not working for them. That is not unlike that same vein that Donald Trump tapped into with the middle class in America. You have populism to the left and populism to the right. And Republicans would be very mindful to pay attention to why that election went the way it did in New York City and pay attention to what people need and what they're looking for. And they're looking for a chance. They're looking for a chance that if they work hard and get a good job, that their kids can go to a good school, that they can put food on the table without sweating the bullets, and have a chance to buy a house before they're 39 years of age. I bought my first house when I was 19. I don't know if that's possible today. I don't. You know, other people in the office here bought houses in their 22, 23, 24 years old. I don't know if that's possible anymore. And I understand the angst. So it's important for the Republican Party not to just dismiss and mock Mamdani, although we'll do plenty of that. But we have to identify how he won and why he won, because it's important when you go into the midterm elections to not ignore this, but to study it and understand why it happened. And it happened because people feel forgotten. They feel like their voice doesn't matter. And their economic issues, there it is, their economic issues are front and center for them every single day.
Yeah, and I agree with all of that. Let me just add to that, though. The problem here is that a lot of folks want free stuff. And that's very appealing. It's like the Oprah Winfrey. He's like the political Oprah Winfrey. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Everybody gets lollipops and gumdrops. The problem is that your taxes are going to go up. The problem is other people are going to pay for it, and it's not just the rich. And so that basically will be the problem here. So it sounds good until the bill comes at the end of the month, Steve Gruber.
Yeah.
Well, and the bill's going to be more than that, David. First of all, I mentioned the young women.
That's right.
The young women, 81% of young women in New York City voted for Mamdani. Here's the other number you have to understand. Foreign-born voters, 12% went for Sliwa, 23% for Cuomo, 62% of foreign-born voters went for Mamdani. So you look at cities like Minneapolis, where, by the way, they avoided the complete socialist lurch. They reelected the incumbent. Looks like the same thing in Seattle. But overall, foreign-born voters that left socialist tyrannical governments are voting for socialist tyrannical government. I mean, you heard Mamdani's acceptance speech. Where was the nice guy? He's gone. You know, turn up the volume as he's yelling at President Trump. You're going to see more of this. You're going to see more vitriol. You're going to see more anger. You're going to see some more demands. And he's now going to go after Kathy Hochul. Give me the tax hikes that we were promised when I was elected. Give them to me, or there's going to be hell to pay. 2% on those making more than $1 million. 4.5% on businesses taking up so they match New Jersey. This is going to happen, and he's going to demand of Albany everything that he promised to the voters of New York City. And if she doesn't give it to him, they're going to run her out on a rail. I mean, we're already looking at people thinking about primarying Hakeem Jeffries. The radical left wing in certain parts of this country are taking over in certain districts. Now, the question then becomes this. Does this mean the Democrat Party becomes more of a regional party? I think it does. I think it become more of a regional party because, look, people here in Detroit and in Michigan, they don't buy New York politics. I think it's probably the same in Cleveland and Philly and other places. They don't. But you have to pay attention to what they're being told. And what they're being told is, give me a chance. Give me a chance to buy a house. Give me a chance to pay my bills. Give me a chance to compete, to succeed. That's what's happening. And I truly believe it. And you just got to look at all of these things. Don't dismiss it. Look at it. And I'm telling you, Mamdani is going to be loud and proud and demand of Albany all the promises, and he's going to demand that Albany make those tax hikes so that he can pay for this progressive fever dream. That's what's going to happen.